What's going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video. Some big news after the bell came out today. Federal Reserve giving the U.S. banks a thumbs up as all 23 lenders easily passed the 2021 stress test. All the stocks are up after hours. The financial sector itself is up about 0.5%. Bank of America is up about 0.76%, along with all of the other ones such as Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and all those other good ones. And Wells Fargo is even offering to do, or eyeing the possibility of doing a dividend boost after the stress test, because now the limits are going to be lifted, the restrictions on their capital returns. So obviously pretty big news to the banks. The question is it a good time to get into the bank and or financial sector right now? We look at it on a broad scale. It is at about all-time highs, just about. The financial sector, Bank of America did pull back a little bit from highs, but is obviously still very close. All-time highs about 43.30. We're sitting at 41.13, so they're pretty close to all-time highs. But their price per earnings is still pretty relatively low, 17.21 for that. The average price for the financial sector is about 16. So I think right now the banks are solid. There's no doubt about that. The question is, are they going to be able to grow? That's the big question. Before I go any farther, guys, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a ton to me. Subscribing, only about 8% of you guys who watch the videos are actually subscribed. So it would mean a ton to me if you guys could subscribe. And also, feel free to jump in the Discord and talk to us. We give out a bunch of great plays that I call out every single day. A bunch of different analysts that we have, and we make good returns on that. So you want to go ahead and jump in. But another thing about the banking, there's different types of banking. There's the regular banking, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. There's also investment banking like Goldman Sachs. This is probably my favorite bank. If I had to look at anyone, it would probably be Goldman Sachs, because Goldman Sachs has a much lower PE ratio than all the rest. They are an investment bank, and if you actually look at their financials, man, this company shoots the lights out every single quarter, and has huge profit margins. So we go ahead and look at last quarter. 17.7 billion in revenue, 6.84 in net. That's a 38.46% profit margin. Huge year-over-year returns. Goldman Sachs, with their investment banking, has just honestly continued to grow and just become a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of analysts think that Goldman has a lot more upside. 52-week high is 393, sitting at 368 right now. I actually was able to pick up some Goldman Sachs in my main account, and I'll show you guys that in just a quick second. Some spreads on Goldman and why I do think Goldman is a very solid play. So as you can see, account is sitting at all-time highs right now, which is pretty awesome. We love to see that. And one of the reasons is being able to hedge and to switch positions. So when the financials get hit big, it could be a great time to get into them. So I only got into Goldman just a little bit. That's about the only financial one I have exposure to. But we're up a little bit on it right now. I don't know why it says we're down. That is inaccurate, because we were just up earlier today. But basically, 2 put credit spread saying it's going to be above $320 by the end of the year. I think that's pretty realistic and very obtainable, considering the fact that it's already well above $320 right now. And we'll collect another $380 out of it. So, something to do, something to watch for. So that's my exposure. But accounts are at all-time highs today, which is pretty nice. $125,928. Tech has been just really doing well for us. And, we're finally seeing a rotation back into tech. And that's always a good thing. But, when it comes to other financials, the question is, how much higher can it continue, and what role will inflation have on the financial sector? Now, Jerome Powell has repeatedly said that this inflation is transitory and that rates will not increase. So while rates are not increasing, that doesn't help the financial sector. But the looming fact that rates will eventually increase is why the financial sector is staying so high. I am actually thinking we're going to have a little bit of a rotation into tech for a little bit more. But what I want to do is January, when a bunch of my positions free up, I want to go huge into the financial sector, especially if XLF is under $30 a share, or right around $30 a share. I would love to put a big majority of my account into the financials, because I think inflation will be a big issue, and the banks can do extremely well with raising rates and making a lot of money and increasing the dividend and stock buybacks as well. So it could bode very, very well for the financial sector. But obviously, right now it's still very high, the financial sector. I mean, we're seeing it at, almost $37 a share. It is right near all-time highs, but the PE is still pretty low. Not as low as it was, a long time ago, but it's up 56% this year and up almost 100% in the past 5 years. But obviously that crash was brutal, dropped it down to about 18, and has recovered a huge since. It's obviously over doubled from the lows. But it's it's crazy to see that they are flying with passing colors and on the stress test in every single scenario. So obviously that bodes very, very well for them, and I expect that they're going to remain strong. I just don't know if we're going to see a bunch of growth from them, at least for the time being, which is why I'm going to actually wait to get into the financial sector. Although you cannot go wrong owning it, getting a nice dividend as well. Even if you're in this ETF alone, you're getting a 1.65, whereas some of these other ones, they pay a pretty nice dividend. Citigroup, I know, used to always pay a very big one before they've increased a lot, but they're still paying 2.9%. JP Morgan, I don't think they pay as much because they have grown just exponentially more, 2.38%. Wells Fargo is another great one that pays pretty high dividend, or it did anyways, but it's shot up so much. I remember when this thing was like a 5-6% dividend, but it's just increased so much, it's only 0.91 now. That's a little bit of a higher PE, but overall still very good with their banking, insurance, and mortgages and all that good stuff that they make good money on commercial finance from. So overall, the banks are pretty solid. You can't go wrong owning them. I like the investment banks like Goldman Sachs. Morgan Stanley is pretty solid as well. If you have to pick, I think Goldman's the best, but Morgan Stanley is obviously pretty solid as well. Is down a little bit in the past month, but overall was still very high, sitting at 87, with the high being about $94 a share. So anyways, guys, I want to know your thoughts on all this. Let me know what you guys think about all this. If you're into financials or if you're into tech, which one you think is going to have a better year? Obviously, financials have significantly outperformed tech this year. And the question is, will it last? So obviously, we'll have to see. A lot on the horizon. But, I thought I'd bring this up because this is some big news. It just came out about 20 minutes ago. And, you should see the banks start flying tomorrow because of it. As they already are in after hours. Wells Fargo's up 1%. Some of these other ones are pretty big as well. But, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Like I said, my positions, we're doing pretty well right now. Account is at all-time highs, which is pretty awesome. But, we're sticking with our main positions. We got BABA. We have that Chinese exposure. Our biggest position is taking the biggest beating. Second biggest position, Apple. You can't go wrong with Apple ever. And then we got Amazon as our third biggest position. And then AMD as our next biggest position. And then Microsoft as our other position. But yeah, guys, good stuff so far. Excited to see what happens with all this, but just thought I'd give you guys a little update. Overall, very good day, very good week, and very good month as well, up 12,500 for the month. So things are performing very, very well. Can't complain about that. Just going to have to stick with it and continue to stay disciplined. So anyways, guys, hope you have a absolute wonderful day. Remember to like, subscribe. Like I said, it means a ton to me. And, let me know your thoughts on the banks and the financials. So if you want to join our Discord and talk to me, come on in. Love to talk to you guys and love to know what your guys' plays are doing, because obviously we're calling out plays every single day and doing what we got to do. So yeah, that's really about it, guys. Nothing more else for me to talk about with you. Just enjoy the day. Hope you guys are green today. I mean, the overall markets are pretty solid. Really everything was up pretty big, especially the NASDAQ today, again, roaring about 0.7%. Yeah, Dow is up 0.95%. S&P is up 0.58%. VIX continuing to go down. So again, we'll see what happens. But right now things are looking really good for the market. Maybe a little bit overextended. Could be a pullback in the near term. But again, who knows? No one knows. We'll just have to play it safe, hedge where we can, lock in profits where we can, and see what happens. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Talk to you next video. Bye-bye.